But the first thing I'd like to do tonight is to welcome Melinda Hinkle behind the table up here. She expressed an interest and was appointed a couple weeks ago to fill the vacancy left by Joey Crawford's resignation. Stepped up to do that for the next few months, and maybe she'll consider running again for re-election in November. We'll see how it goes for her, see how she likes it. But Melinda, thank you and welcome, and it's a privilege. I know you hear us act a lot of times like it's not, but it is a privilege to be able to sit here and know that you're serving your neighbors and your families and trying to do the best for everybody in town that you can do. And I believe that you'll see that and embrace that, and we'll do good things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Randy, just like I said before the meeting, I rode down the Tanner Road. I haven't seen any activity on your manholes yet. And you said you hadn't either, right?
Right.
Okay. We've been talking about two street lights in town. One at 10th and Commerce and one at 7th and Commerce that were out. Both of those have been repaired, replaced. The one at 7th and Commerce was a Dominion power pole. The one at 10th and Commerce was never identified or accepted as a Dominion power pole. But we're in the process, are we not, of getting it put on their map so that they'll maintain that for us. And what's it going to cost us, like $12 a month?
$8 to $12 a month.
For the light.
Right.
But they take care of the light bulb whenever it's needed and what have you. So I think that's a good thing. That way we don't have to go through this the next time it burns out. So, and it is burning, isn't it, Terry?
Yes, sir.
ER. What's going on with your signs, man?
Sunlight.
Do you think it could be that it's just been so cloudy?
It could be. I don't know.
Once all this weather gets out of here and the clouds are lifted, let's keep a watch on them, and if they don't start functioning properly, let's try to get in touch with the company and see if we can't figure out what's going on with that and see what we need to do on that. And while we're talking about speed limit signs, I got the police report here from the Sheriff's Department. They worked 21 hours this month and they wrote 9 summonses. We had a short month with them, but the less hours they work, the less we have to pay them, so it offsets itself. So it balances out. Chris, we appreciate what y'all.
A lot of people finishing vacations, it's my fault.
Y'all haven't had any issues down here that you know of, have you?
Minor stuff. Yeah, traffic hazards, nothing major.
Okay. We appreciate y'all, appreciate what you do. Unfortunately, just like anywhere, it's come to our attention that we have, well, for a town this small, a fairly large or an alarming number of our residents who are struggling financially and really having a hard time to make ends meet and meet their basic needs. And by basic needs, I'm talking about food on the table, medication, lights on in the house, that type of thing. You know, when we can identify that somebody has a legitimate need, then we can work with them on their utility payments for the town. But it's out of our hands for these other expenses that they have that they can't meet. So, like I said, there's an alarming number of them right here in town. So what I asked Wendy to do, and she did an amazing job of it on the short notice. She's put together a packet of a list of places for assistance with a variety of these needs and their phone numbers that are actually located right here in the Highlands. And then even some of them on a much bigger scope, the social services, the federal social services, state social services, and Dominion Power's fuel assistance and things of that nature. But kind of on a local level, I'd ask everybody kind of look out for your neighbors. If you see somebody who's struggling, or maybe their lights are turned off or something and you don't know why, if you can't help them, let us know, and maybe we can steer them towards somebody who can. Because folks need these basic necessities just to survive and to live. So, Wendy, anything you'd like to add to that about this information that you'll have here?
I think it's understandable that people feel too proud to go up and ask certain entities, even a church, for assistance. I explained to someone earlier this week, I said, Central United Methodist Church in Clifton Forge always holds Holy Week services the week before Easter. The reason they hold those services is to take up funds for the Allegheny Ministerial Association. The reason they take up those funds for that association is to help people with their lights and their phones and their heat. And, you know, even to some extent some other services. But understand that there is help out there, and these are non-judgmental places to go. You know, if you need the help, it's out there. Don't be afraid to ask for it. And anyone who comes into town hall and asks for a packet or picks up a packet, it's none of my business. You take your packet, whatever happens, happens. I'm not here to talk about anybody, as most of you know.
And it'll, like she said, it'll all stay here. Yeah, Ann?
There's also a program called God's Covering in the county, and what they do is they pack for the kids, and the children that don't have a lot, they send home snack packs to those families. There is an application that you fill out, and it goes through the school systems. But if anybody needs that person to contact, if you'll just get a hold of me and I'll let you know who it is. But it's called God's Covering.
That's good to know, thank you. So, you know, the bottom line is there's help for folks. And like Wendy said, I realize it's an embarrassment, or maybe you feel a little bit ashamed to have to come and ask for help. But anybody in this town or anybody anywhere could very easily wind up in a position where they need some help. So encourage them to reach out to get the help they need to get these needs met. Any other comments or questions about any of that? I mean,
I'll just remind everyone that the Clifton Forge Food Pantry, we operate 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We provide whatever you need, and you just come in, and we are governed by the federal government, so we cannot turn you away. We don't serve just Allegheny County, we serve Bath County, Botetourt County. Anyone even coming from out of state, if they're in need, they can stop at the Clifton Forge Food Pantry and be taken care of.
and we've got y'all.
And we also have a clothes closet, and so if you need a winter jacket, come on by.
What hours is that, please?
We're open from 9 to 11.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Gary.
There's also a clothes closet in the Baptist Church. Operates, I think, first and third Tuesdays of each month from like 10 to 2 or something like that. And it's not just clothes. There's housewares, shoes, all kind of stuff. It's all free. Just come pick up what you need, what you can wear. kids need clothes or winter coat, we probably got it.
Appreciate that, it's okay if we put y'all on the list.
As far as I'm concerned, it is. I'm not on the committee, but as far as I'm concerned, it is.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
Well, it's not open to members of the church, is what I'm saying.
No, I understand. If you find of anybody that's not on our list that you know that can provide help, let us know so we put it on the list and make sure that they have these resources that they can go to and ask and try to get people on a little bit more sound footing. Wintertime's coming and they're going to need fuel and heat and electricity certainly before winter sets in. So, while we're talking about that, just like Bobby said, there are a number of people in town that are sick. Chazzy, how's Miss Lockhart doing? Is she doing better?
Fair.
Doing fair. But she's still getting around. Okay. Johnny, how's Sandy?
She's doing a little bit better. I got her home anyway.
Good, good. Gary, how's Blackie doing?
She's hanging in there. Went down to visit her yesterday, and Jackie said that she's slowly slipping away. But she's all right now. She was perfectly sound in mind yesterday when I talked to her.
Mine's good. So, anybody else in town that's sick that we haven't mentioned or that we know about that everybody needs to kind of look at it for and check on?
Frances Persinger.
Is she doing okay, or is she just so?
Her family has to stay with her now, I know, all the time.
Okay. Hospice is with her. And then, just keep these folks in your thoughts and prayers, and, if you get a chance to see them or speak to them, that might brighten their day a little bit. And then, of course, like Chris said earlier, a very long-term resident of town passed away last week. Mary Williams died, and she was in her 90s, and while some years ago they lived just across the line in Botetourt, they've always been Iron Gate family. And it's a huge family, as you know, because she had 9 children, 8 of which are still surviving, and just if you see any of them, keep them in your thoughts and express your condolences to them too. Okay. We had been asked a couple of times about the money that was allocated from different accounts, sewer accounts and garbage accounts, and used for the water tank and procuring the grant for the water tank and surveys and things of that nature. And the reason that it was asked about is, per the town charter, you can move money around between your accounts as needed, but eventually that money is supposed to be paid back to the funds that it came from. And we started going back and reviewing these transactions. We had to go all the way back to 2006 when it started to come up with an accurate accounting of what money was used from the sewer account, what money was used from the garbage account, and it's a big job, and we haven't finished it. Wendy's been really diligent about going through the minutes, and then once she goes through them, the Finance Committee goes through them just to concur with her findings and to see if there's anything that she missed or something that she identified that doesn't need to be identified with that. And hopefully we can have an accurate report on that by next month. And council will have to decide at that time whether they really are going to be able to, reality is going to be whether they can afford to put that money back into those accounts in a timely manner, or if it's something that we're going to need to take some time to do. Just depends on the dollar amount that was borrowed from those accounts. So we're working on that. ER, anything you'd like to add to that? Go on.
No, sir.
Mayor,
Yes.
is there statutes that tell you how long we have to pay that back?
I have not seen one. Do you know of one?
No, so we have 100 years.
I think you have as long as you need, as long as you're making an effort to find out what is owed to those accounts and put it back. And I mean, I realize why the money was used. The money was there, it was accessible, and it should have been used. It was town's money. Now we just got to figure out how we're going to put it back, or what we're going to do with it. So, received a call from Valerie Bruffy. Went over this at the work session, but need to talk about it in here. And we're going to hold a public hearing on it next month for the council meeting. And some years back, one of the governors, I believe it may have been Governor Gilmore, I'm not 100% sure on that, introduced a bill for personal property tax relief. And in that bill that was obviously passed and put into effect, you were only going to be taxed on 50% of the assessed value of your personal property. Well, it had an expiration date. And guess what? That was this year. We didn't know it was expiring this year. Clifton Forge didn't know it was expiring this year. Allegheny County knew it was expiring this year. But when we set our budget with no increases or reductions in personal property tax. We left it at the old rate of 21 cents, 99 cents a hundred, wasn't it, Wendy?
$1 per 100.
Dollar per 100. In theory, what we need to do, and the reason we're having a public hearing, we need to amend our personal property tax resolution to make it 50 cents per $100 of assessed value. Because now you're being taxed on the total assessed value of your vehicle or your personal property. In order for us to keep it the same amount of money coming out of your pocket, we have to reduce our tax rate per 100 on personal property. So a $10,000 vehicle, up until this year, you were only being assessed $5,000 on that. This year you were assessed the full $10,000, which would have doubled your tax liability. So we're going to hopefully be able to adopt a resolution to amend our taxes to 50 cents per 100 of assessed value, which would keep it at the same amount of money coming out of your pocket. Any questions on that? Does that make sense to everybody? How I explained that? That's what Allegheny County did. That's what I understand Clifton Forge is doing. And that's what we're going to discuss with y'all next month. And hopefully we can come to an agreement on that.